Welcome back to our election studio, and the hashtag remains Nigeria Decides. Now, the issue of ethnicity and religion have remained big matters that continue to shape the turn of events in the country. It is the effect of the two-headed dragon of ethnicity and religion as an impediment to progress in Nigeria that we seek to analyze this evening. Joining us to discuss that is Ziggy Ibe, a public affairs analyst. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We'll go with the very first question, ethnicity, religion, issues in Nigeria. What is your take on its effect on our electoral process?
These are two words that are, or two practice that has negate the issue of electioneering. Those two things have never worked for us. Politics, yes, we've been indulged in it. Ethnicity, most of the politicians will always use that to curry the electorates to themselves. So religion. Religion is another act that has swayed us away from the real issues. And looking at the two acts, it is negatively affecting us. If we want to actually get into the real deal, real electioneering, or real way to play the politics that will bring about good governance, the two things should be outrightly removed from us.
All of those sentiments removed, and then we can be objective.
Yes, it should be removed. The ethnicity would, the two things will actually erode the very best in us. Because when you begin to look at ethnicity, you tend to have a proclivity to someone who comes from your side.
Some school of thought will say that these two scopes are what define every human being. You come from a line of family, you come from a religion, and this one way or the other is a part of you. You can't remove that away. So how feasible is it that we would be able to remove those sentiments and then be more objective in our thinking, in our selection process?
That is the challenge, the objectivity. They will not give us the real thing we need to do or need to have in order to bring out the real governance to the people. For instance, think of the federal character principle. It tends to select all the people, all the individuals who have skills. But when ethnicity rears its ugly head, or religion, you tend to get someone because it's coming from your side. And don't forget, like President Muhammad Buhari has been accused recently of being a bigot. These are issues that are not really helping when it comes to governance. The two things, the two issues should not come into the people who actually want to be governed.
Now, Ziggy,
and the leader should do away with it.
Ziggy, there's a school of thought that defines Nigeria today as a nation, is a constituent of several nationalities. What do you make of this assertion when we say, yes, we believe we are one Nigeria, we might come from different places, but some people would say, well, this assertion is what defines politics in Nigeria today, what has defined politics in Nigeria in the past, and what will still define Nigeria in the future.
In our statutes book, I said earlier, it defines that federal character principle should be followed. What that means is that at every governing point, the leader should get individuals from all the federating units, from all the federating states. That is the federal character principle. We are saying that if you want to follow that to the letter, it might erode the really essence of governance. It might not necessarily give you the kind of skilled people you need. Because, for instance, if you need a technocrat who will take up a job in maybe Federal Service Commission or given an appointment by a leader or by a president or a governor, the Constitution compels you to get someone who actually will come from a particular geographical definition. Okay? And we are saying that instead of doing all those, it could erode you the really fact, the really meaning, or the really, to deny you the really situation where you will not get a skilled person from that end. Another disadvantage of this ethnicity is that instead of getting a skilled person from different place, you might tend to get someone from your own family or from your own relative. You might get a relative. Okay, so it negates the very essence of governance, and it is disadvantageous. Right, it's not necessarily giving us that opportunity, that window, to really get someone who would do the real job that is required of that very position.
All right, let me ask you this question. This is not a new phenomenon in Nigeria. We've had it for long before independence. Even the issue of our independence generated quarrels in Kanu, up in the north. It moved on to the Igbos and the Yorubas going on one side. We know all of that. But what would you say about the handling by successive government of this ethno-religious conflict? And of course, don't forget that there is the suggestion that there seemed to be an escalation in the level of ethno-religious violence in the country after we attained democracy in 1999. What do you make of the action of governments in successive government in handling this issue? And do you also subscribe to the school of thought that suggests that our political elite may be complicit in the escalation of this violence?
Let me take you from this angle. Everybody in Nigeria belongs to a particular sect. Either you are religious, you belong to, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, or you are a traditionalist. Some are atheists too.
Sir, hold on to that thought. We'll go on just hold on, please. We'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Do stay with us, please.